and sisters, if we can move forward, fill in the gaps so that those coming after us can find a space. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from us all. Jazakumullah khairan for your cooperation. I think we're good. Alhamdulillah. It's getting better every week, so mashallah, everyone's doing good. Alhamdulillah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. Ashhadu an la أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله الأكرم الذي خلق الإنسان وكرم وعلمه من البيان ما لم يعلم، فسبحان الذي لا يحصى امتنانه باللسان ولا بالقلم. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمدا عبد الله ورسوله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة، فجزاه الله عنا وعن كل المسلمين خيرا. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد عبدك ورسولك النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. أما بعد، رب يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. رب زدني علما والحقني بالصالحين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. سبحانك لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الجواد الكريم. My dear respected elders, brothers and sisters in Islam, fact is that Ramadan is exactly 1 month from today, inshallah. You can begin to feel that excitement, the vibe, the energy revving up in anticipation of its arrival. How so? Well, we're taking words out of the compartments in our brains when it comes to using those words, such as Ramadan Kareem, Ramadan Mubarak, Kull Aam wa Antum bi Khair. We're taking them out. Actions and deeds are coming out of the archives of our life, such as Taraweeh. And menus are coming out of the cupboards and drawers of our kitchens as we all anticipate the Ramadan specials. Soon we will see banners online, advertisements in its name in the stores, and a change in the atmosphere around the world, all in the name of Welcome Ramadan or Ramadan Mubarak. In our cultures, we adorn this month. We anticipate its arrival. We await its fruits. We strive to harvest as many as we can in the short window of 30. And why not? For it is a month of blessings and forgiveness, a month of fasting and praying, a month of charity and giving, a month of the Quran and the night of power. The religious obligations performed in it solidify the importance of it. But sadly, not everyone sees it as such. And that segment of the community is slowly growing. The topic of the khutbah today is what's so holy of a month that the people given it are running from it. According to an article on CNN dated May the 10th, 2018, it's titled Why 80% of Muslim Americans Fast During Ramadan, is highlighting two things. The 80% of American Muslims observe the fast of Ramadan as a cardinal practice of our faith. And the other 20% are either those who are exempt or those who couldn't care less. Fact is, there is a steady rise in articles and blogs describing personal accounts of people who are not fasting. And they are articulating their story of why they don't want to fast, to gain the sympathy and support of others who feel the same. This trend is normalizing the mindset and the direction that the future is headed towards. Articles like the one on Vice, dated May the 15th of 2018, titled, Like Many Young Muslims, I Fake Fast During Ramadan. And it's an interesting article. And for those of us who couldn't care less, we use this terminology when it comes to religion and religious people. If they don't want to do their religion, good for them. Allah will hold them accountable. But I want those people who think that way to pause for a moment and remember this one point. The failure of them tagging along on the practices of the religion lies partially on your shoulders and my shoulders also. So don't just write off the next generation that feels fasting is foreign, it's a tradition, it's a burden. Rather, understand what is the root cause of their problem. In this article, it describes the resentment of some when it comes to this holy month of Ramadan. They talk about how fasting during this month is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and if you don't do so, you face social ridicule within the Muslim community, and even in some Muslim countries, it could lead to a fine or even being jailed. Remember one thing. Last night with the youth in our Dose of Deen, we talked about the difference between Islam and Muslims. Sadly, there is a difference. And know one thing. Islam at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was never imposed. Never. Those who wanted to did, those who didn't felt the need to do it because the environment was so positive, the energy was so great that they said, I want to be a part of this. Moving along, he talks about how many of his families and friends have to be lied to. They have a good meal, but then they have to act hungry in the evening only so that they can sit down and eat iftar with their families. They might think fasting is more for traditional Muslims, and they consider themselves to be more casual Muslims. That's one reason. Another reason given is that they have completely left the religion of Islam but have yet to come out to their Muslim community articulating that they are no longer Muslims. I've been talking about this for years, and I've said this here before. The reality of people leaving Islam is as real as the light of day. And yes, it's not happening just in America, it's happening in our so-called Muslim countries. I'm not going to go into that today because that's not my topic. But my topic today is why. Why has such a blessed opportunity for the human welfare been taken as a burden and a sentence? Let me tell you why. In order for us to understand Ramadan and fasting and this prescription, we need to go back into history. When we go back into the history of this practice of fasting, there's a verse that's thrown out every Ramadan on every mimbar, and I bet you that. But the wholesome meaning of it isn't articulated. You see, the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clear, it's concise, it is complete. We need to understand what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Allah in seeking forgiveness when he felt that when the people rejected him, it was the failure of him articulating that message. It wasn't a problem in the message, it was a problem assumed to be in the articulation. When he was stoned in Ta'if and he walked away, he sat down and he said, Allahumma ghfir li qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamun. Forgive my people, they didn't understand. There's a big possibility here, and he's throwing it on himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I tried, but maybe I couldn't present it right, because the religion, the word, the command, the lifestyle is complete, it's perfect. But the failure is in our part to articulate it, explain it, understand it, and propagate it. What is that verse? Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 183. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you can become the muttaqeen. The problems that are leading to the negation of this practice, fasting, is in the following 4 things. Number 1, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. O those who believe, i.e., this prescription is only as good as your belief in it being a solution. Allah did not command, He prescribed. When you go to a physician, you're going not because you want to see the doctor or make a co-payment or you have nothing better to do that day. You go to the doctor when the need is dire. And when you go to the doctor and they give you a prescription, it is the articulation of the solution that you sought for the problem that took you to the doctor in the first place. But if you don't want the prescription, you don't go to the doctor, then you live with your problem. That's good for you. So Allah is saying the prescription is for those who believe it. You have to believe it to understand it first. If you don't believe it, you're not forced to do it. It's up to you. But believe in what? Believe in, number 1, the weight it carries. People tend to be confident in something when it has age or history attached to it. It gives credibility to it. my car had a problem and I went to a mechanic and I was kind of confused, like who should I trust? And on their door it says, we've been serving the community for 25 years. And what did that say to me? Credibility. You go to Yelp and you talk about a restaurant, you look for a restaurant, you look at the reviews. There's like 2,000 reviews. It's been established since 1999. What does that tell? Credibility. It gives you psychologically ease to know that this thing has been around enough and the people have spoken so good about it enough that I should also trust it and believe in it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us Muslims that what is being prescribed to you was prescribed before you. So it isn't just good or okay, it's great. If you go to someone and say, how's your ability to solve this problem? It's okay. Can you bake me a cake for Eid? Yeah, I can make a good one. You'll be like, I don't think so. I don't want someone who lacks confidence in the thing that they say they do well. I want it good. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, this prescription isn't okay or good. It's great. It's perfect. It's flawless. What's the history of this prescription? When the Muslims migrated to Medina, Munawwara, at that time was Yathrib, they only had two commands, prayer and charity. Understand, for over a decade, the deen of Islam had no command. Let this sink in. It was all about reaffirming that foundation of the oneness of Allah. And then close to that time was when Rasulullah ﷺ went for the Mi'raj. He did the Isra and Mi'raj and he brought down the gift of prayer. But there were two practices in the deen of Islam. So now when they migrated to Yathrib at that time, they wanted to do more. So they saw those before them, their predecessors, the Jews, fasting. So they fasted the fast that the Jews fasted. As the Quran says, أَيَّامًا مَعْدُودَاتٍ. There were a few days that the Jews fasted, and they fasted those days. And not only did they fast those days, mimicking the practice of the people of the book, they practiced it the way they did it. And if you ask anyone from the Jewish community, you will learn that the fast starts from sunset, the entire night, the morning, the afternoon, the evening, till sunset. That's how the Muslims fasted when they migrated to Medina Munawwara. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, when He commanded us this prescription, when He gave us this prescription, to continue following the ways of those who were given it before us, highlighting the credibility of that practice. كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُم. What has been given to the people before you that you've been mimicking all along because you like it, I'm telling you it's part of your religion also now. I.e., it has credibility and it's moving on towards you. It has weight. And it has the approval of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the one thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in this verse is to strive to obtain the goal of it. Not just do it for the sake of doing. Because that's exactly where the Jews started losing sight. Religion over time became a ritual, a culture, a practice. You do it because you have to do it. You do it because everyone's doing it. What's the reason? Why do I pray? Why do I give charity? Why do I fast? What's the reason? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with each prescription, command, or gift, gives us the goal, the reason, what to aim for. So Allah is saying, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you can become muttaqeen. I want you to strive to get that. That's why I'm telling you to do this. Sadly, the Jewish community at that time was drifting away, and today the Muslim community has drifted far away from the goal. In regards to this verse, as I said, understand that it's for believers. You have to believe in it first. Number two, you have to understand the weight of this practice. You have to understand the weight of this practice. And number three, you have to understand the significance of the goal. What is the goal? لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Now, if you look at the translations of the Quran, and let me be blunt here, a translation of the Quran is just that, a translation. It's not the Quran. And no translation can give due justice to anything anywhere. Urdu mein kehte na 19-20 ka farak hai. Like they say in Urdu, there's a 19-20 ratio. It's never 20-20. There is some things that you can't find. Now let me give you an example of what I'm trying to say. I went through 4 translations this morning. In regards to لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, you find, so that you may guard against evil. You find, learn self-restraint. You may ward off evil. And you learn, become God-fearing. So what's the translation of taqwa? Since we have failed to articulate the exact goal of fasting, we have failed to strive for that goal. When we failed to strive for that goal, it just became a ritual. Now that it's become a ritual, our generations are saying, hey, you guys could continue doing that for your God, but for me, it doesn't make any sense. Anything that's void of a goal is senseless. So what is taqwa? If we look at the roots, the masdar of al-waqaya, waqa yaqi wiqayatan, it means to protect. It means to save. And then it also means to be cautious. Through taqwa of Allah, you're saving, you're protecting, and now you're cognizant of problems that once happened that you eliminated. Who are you saving? What are you protecting from? And what are you aware of? You are saving yourself. This is you, for you, only for you. That is who you call a muttaqi. That is saving. Someone who saves themselves. Taqwa, the word is ism jamid. The Jews forgot that goal even though they had a few days of fasting. My dear Muslims, we need to revive that goal. What is the goal of taqwa? When you walk into Walmart or any store and you walk into the medicine aisle, you only walk in that aisle when the need arises. You don't just go there for a casual stroll. Allah through Ramadan is taking you to the medicine aisle. Because there are problems in your personal life, your family life, your community life, and in the ummah that this month solves. It solves. No other month, no other practice can solve. We don't have time, but I guarantee that today we all are stuck in predicaments, individually and as an ummah. And what we're trying to find is a way out. We all have difficulties. We are hoping for ease in our affairs. We realize that sins sometimes wear us down. They sometimes bog us down. And we wish to be free from the burden of sins. These are common problems across the spectrum. Well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you what taqwa does. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Now that through Ramadan you're obtaining taqwa, what does taqwa do? When you strive for taqwa, regardless where this ummah is, I swear by Allah, if we understand the goal of Ramadan and we strive for it, in 30 days, the problem of the ummahs will be resolved. Because Allah is saying, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ, whoever has taqwa of Allah, He will make a way out for them. For too long, the ummah is now believing. And this is a sad part of our ummah, these activisms that are going on in our ummah. We will do, I can do. No one could do. If Muhammad ﷺ said, I cannot do, who are you to say I can do? Without Allah, we are the trash on the earth. Allah is saying, everything is tough in the ummah, don't worry. In 30 days, a month is coming. Fast, strive, gain taqwa. You know why? I will make the way for you. The way Allah made the way for Yusuf alayhi salam when he was being seduced behind 12 locked doors. Allah made a way for him. I swear by Allah, Allah will make a way for us. This is what we're trying to strive for. Allah says in the same surah, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا. Life is becoming difficult. You can't hold the burdens of life anymore. Allah is saying, don't worry. Don't worry, take it easy. Fast this month. Strive for taqwa. All your affairs, I will make it easy. If you don't believe this, then either our faith is messed up or Allah is lying, na'udhu billah. This is a month where no one should leave, no one should deprive themselves of, because here Allah is telling us the goals that we're striving for. And last in the surah, Allah says, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِ وَيُعْظِمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا. The person who strives for the taqwa of Allah, Allah forgives their sins. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives their misdeeds and makes great for them their reward. Allah is saying, in Ramadan, I'm going to do a flush of your whole system of the car. I'm going to flush it out to make sure that every component of the car is clean and sparkling. That there is no grind, there is no mold, there is no blockage that will prevent the car from performing well. Not only will I clean it, I will restore it in its perfect state. This was not promised for salah. This was not promised for anything else. This was promised. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. Now that we understand this goal, tell me, who is foolish enough to deprive themselves from that goal? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open our hearts. Give us the understanding of the bigger picture and allow us to strive for the goal that is coming towards us in the month of Ramadan. Ameen Rabbil Alameen. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala. Brothers and sisters, now that we've understood the problems in explaining this verse that's been read over and over and over again across the world, that made it into a ritual, that today we're seeing a bigger picture, I want to show you something even greater. When the Prophet ﷺ migrated to Medina, 17 months after migration, Allah did something amazing for us. Amazing. The turning of the Qibla wasn't a direction of prayer. Matter of fact, on that day at Salatul Dhuhr in a place known as Masjid Qiblatain today, when the Prophet ﷺ turned from the direction of all prophets to the direction of the Kaaba, 180 degrees, Allah did something for us. He gave this ummah its own capital. There is no nation that is void of a capital. You cannot be a nation unless you have a capital. And so long your capital is secure and strong, doesn't matter what happens around. The capital stands, the nation stands. Allah said, today I've made Makkah your capital. O people of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, today I have given you a nation. Today I have made for you the capital. And it was something that bothered the people because they understood it before we today could understand it. That's why Allah says, سَيَقُولُ السُّفَهَاءُ مِنَ النَّاسِ. The foolish people started taunting Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is this turning of Qibla? They were not crazy. They understood what happened. That every other religion and ummah till this moment, this was their capital. Allah said for Muslims, today Makkah is now your forever capital. Secondly, after the capital was changed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down the laws of fasting. We fasted from sunset to sunset. Now it was from dusk to sunset. And then there was a method, i.e. now you have your own capital. I will give you my own laws and ways. You're going to have your laws. Doesn't define you to be separate. Yes, we are separate. We could still live with the people. But Allah gave us our capital. He gave us our laws. And when it comes to America, people talk about two things. They talk about Constitution and they talk about the flag. They hug the flag or they wear it as an underwear, or they talk about the Constitution. And many people don't know the Constitution. Sadly, many people haven't even read the Constitution. Now you have your capital, you have your laws. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month of Ramadan sent down the Constitution. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. Do you know what I'm trying to get to? When we have our 4th of July, we all celebrate. When it's our national day of celebration or our Independence Day, we all celebrate because we feel we're a part of that country. Fellow Muslims, this 30 days of Ramadan is your national day. These 30 days of Ramadan is celebrating your authenticity, your uniqueness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَاكُمْ أُمَّةً. We have now made you a nation. We have separated you from everyone. You are now today a nation. You have your capital, you have your laws, and you have your constitution. You are now a nation. And you're not just a nation. أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. You are a very balanced nation. So this morning I realized that Ramadan is 30 days of celebration. It is 30 days of admiration. It is 30 days of gaining from this treasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Eid al-Fitr is the commitment, O Allah, what we took from this piety. As you make ease in our matters, as you solve our problems, as you forgive our sins, we are now going to change the status quo from this day onwards, inshaAllah. That is why Rasulullah said, لِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ عِيدٌ وَهَذَا عِيدُنَا. Everyone celebrates their own. Our Eid is our celebration. So go home this afternoon or back to work or back to school and realize the importance and the value of Ramadan and what happened in Medina because of all of this. Your constitution is your Quran. Your laws are in the Quran. Your capital is Makkah. You are a nation of people that are not bounded by territories or lines or borders or walls. You are a wholesome people, and this is your chance. 30 days to tell Allah, we need you. You take it from here. We send salutations and blessings upon Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who guided us, who mentored us, and who showed us the practicality of this faith. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala sayyidina Muhammad, abdika wa rasulika an-nabiy al-ummi, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa baraka wa sallama tasliman kathiran kathira. اللهم بارك لنا في رجب وشعبان اللهم بارك لنا في رجب وشعبان وبلغنا رمضان وبلغنا رمضان وبلغنا رمضان. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في ديننا ودنيانا وآخرتنا. نسألك اللهم من الخير كله ونعوذ بك اللهم من الشر كله. اللهم اشف مرضانا وعاف مبتلانا وارحم موتانا يا رب العالمين. آمين يا رب العالمين. آمين يا رب العالمين. آمين يا رب العالمين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. Please ensure that our lines are straight. Stand shoulder to shoulder. The edge of our heels should be on the edge of the line. Please ensure the line in front of us is complete before we form a second line. Please ensure brothers come closer, inshallah. There are still many people standing outside that is still in those gaps. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our presence here today. Ameen.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.